Okay, so the first step that we're going to do here is we need to convert our raw weight percent into raw moles because you have to do all of these chemical calculations using moles. Now, the way that I'm going to do this is I'm going to just concentrate on this very first analysis here, this test of catophorite. And the reason I'm going to start with this one is because this is a sort of a relatively complex amphibole. You can see that I've got a couple of elements highlighted here. I've got aluminum highlighted because you can see that aluminum is distributed between two different sites. And I have sodium highlighted because sodium is also distributed between two different sites. And so we are going to use this as our model amphibole. I'm going to go across the sort of the entire spreadsheet here, systematically working on this one primarily. And then what we're going to do is copy the formulas down into the other amphiboles and see where we have to make adjustments in order to accommodate the different normalization routines. And so this is, I think you're going to find this to be a rather sort of elegant and straightforward way of being able to go through how you do this calculation. So let's start. This is probably going to be one of the easiest calculations that we're going to do here, is we're initially going to calculate the raw moles. And how do you get moles from weight percent? Well, you get moles by dividing by the atomic weight. And so I'm going to start here with fluorine, and I'm going to do the equal sign. And you can see that we don't actually have anything here for fluorine, but that doesn't matter because we want to have a general formula that is applicable to any analysis that we choose. And so just because this particular analysis doesn't have fluorine in it, doesn't matter, because as you'll see down here later on, fluorine is going to show up. So I want to have the greatest flexibility as possible. And so I'm going to click on this cell. So we see up here that we have E8, which is the fluorine cell, and then I am going to divide that by the atomic weight of fluorine. You can see I have the full list of the atomic weights of all of the elements up here below the elements. And you'll also notice that as we go through the various parts of the spreadsheet that I have the different sections essentially color-coded so that it's a little easier for people to see. So you'll see that all of my raw moles will be in blue. Later on when I do the site occupancies, they'll all be in green. No, sorry, they'll be in orange, I think. They'll be in orange, and then the oxide weights will all be in green at the end. And so it's kind of a good bookkeeping or good accounting way of sort of kind of keeping everything neat and clean. And so it's really easy to kind of find your way around the spreadsheet. Now, before I finish with this cell here, later on I'm going to copy this cell further down into other rows. And I want to be careful that the atomic weight here, that this cell doesn't get moved down to a lower cell. So I want to refer to this with an absolute reference. And the way that you do absolute references in Excel is you would use a dollar sign. Now you can use a dollar sign in front of the letter if you want to make the column an absolute value. You would use the dollar sign in front of the number if you want the row to be the absolute value. You can use a dollar sign in front of both the column and the in front of the letter and the number if you want a specific cell to be an absolute reference, or you can not use any, and then you have an entirely relative reference. So in this case, you can see I put the dollar sign in front of the 3, so it's always going to refer to row 3, regardless of where I copied this cell down. So hit return there, and you see it's going to be 0. Well, the reason it's 0, obviously, is because there's no value for fluorine. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to copy this cell. Now I have all of these elements up here in the raw moles in the same sequence as I have them here in the raw weight percent. And so I can copy this cell and carry it over all the way there. And so you can see now that I have a value for sodium, for magnesium, for aluminum. And if I click on one of these, as you can see, because the column is a relative value, the column advances. And so, here I had O, here I have P, here I have Q, and so on. You'll see later on when I copy these down that the 8 will, convert to 10. It'll convert to 11 here, but the 3 in this cell will remain the same. Okay, so this is the calculation for the raw moles. Again, I could do this for all of the remaining amphiboles here, but I'm going to reserve that for later on in the calculation. So again, I'm going to pause the video here, and then we will move on to the normalization scheme, which is probably one of the more important parts of the spreadsheet.